Hello, it's Simon Zutshi here, and in this video, I want to share with you the latest interest rate crisis update. As you know, the Bank of England has just voted to raise interest rates to 5%. This is going to be a major problem for many property investors, and that's what I'm going to talk about in this video. Now, I just must apologize. I'm actually on a holiday. I've jumped into a room to try and record. It's a bit noisy here, so I hope you can hear this, but this is really important. This cannot wait. You need to understand the impact of what's going to happen. So please like this video. It really helps the algorithms if you could subscribe and hit the bell icon as well, so more people hear about this information I want to share with you today. So let's talk about what's happened and the impact on you, the property market, and your property investing. So as you know, the Bank of England have voted 7-2 to raise interest rates by 0.5% from 4.5 up to 5%. Now, this is actually the 13th consecutive increase in interest rates since December 2021. Now, at that point, interest rates were just 0.1%. So that's a 50 times increase in interest rates. Now, of course, 0.1% was very unrealistic. It was there very, very momentarily. For the last decade or so, it's been about 0.5%, which is also incredibly low. And we knew at some point interest rates were going to go up, but they really started to rise. February 2022 is when they started to go up, and they've gone up. And obviously the problem with the Conservative budget and Liz Truss back in October 2022 was also a massive problem where the interest rates jumped up. But the reason why the Bank of England is using interest rates is because they're trying to control inflation. The government has spent so much money coping with COVID, and everyone had all this money pent up, they've gone and spent. This has caused massive inflation, plus the cost of fuel, plus the cost of food. This has all caused inflation to go up. Now, it did get to a rate over 10%, but more recently, the high interest rates have seemed to be starting to work. And in April, they saw the fall in inflation down to 8.7%. Now, unfortunately, the May figures showed inflation had stuck at 8.7%. So for that reason, the Bank of England said, right, we still need to increase interest rates higher to make sure inflation comes down. So what is the impact of all of this on us and property? Well, there are 4.2 million households in the UK who have already been affected by these rising interest rates over the last 16 or so months. And there are 3.3 million homes on fixed rate mortgages who have not been affected. Now, this is probably the biggest problem for those people because they are used to high rates. There's 1.3 million people who are supposed to come off fixed rate mortgages in 2023. And what does that actually mean? Well, for homeowners, many people who have had a nice low mortgage and suddenly it's a really high interest rate, they're going to have to either refinance or sell that property. Now, the problem with refinancing is because interest rates are really high, when you look at your own home, any lender's going to look at affordability. And because wages have not gone up in line with inflation, it might well be that many people don't meet the affordability criteria and so find it very difficult to remortgage. I'm pretty sure there will be some people, unfortunately, who default on their mortgage and will get repossessed. I'm sure repossessions will be going up over the next 12 months. And there might be people who decide, actually, I'm going to sell my property and I'd rather rent. So there'll be more properties coming onto the market. So therefore, potentially an increased supply. So it might cause property prices to continue to come down further. Now, those people who do remortgage, they're probably still going to be paying a lot more than they were paying previously when they were on their low fixed rate. And this means they're going to have less money in their pocket to spend, less money to spend with businesses on goods and services. And that's going to have a knock-on effect on the economy and cause us to go further into recession. Now, let's talk about property investors. By the way, if this is useful for you, if you're liking this, please hit the like button and make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Now, for investors, many new investors, understandably, are being put off investing by everything that's going on in the market. You know, the fact that they've got this increased legislation coming in with the rent reform bill, but particularly these high interest rates mean that many people who are entering the market, who often start with single-let properties, are finding that single-let properties, they just don't stack up. They don't make any positive cash flow. So they're not really worth doing. In fact, the only strategies I think you should be doing in the current market condition are houses of multiple occupation and serviced accommodation, because these both have very, very high cash flow and there's really good demand for both these right now. Now, we also see many existing landlords who have decided to sell up because their single-let properties are just not making money. In fact, there are landlords right now who are renting out properties where the rent coming in each month is actually less than the money they are paying to the mortgage companies. So they're losing money each month. But if they own the property in their own name and they're a high rate taxpayer, because of Section 24, which are the changes to the way we are taxed as property owners, came in April 2017 and phased in over 4 years, it means that some people are making no money right now, but on paper, they're making a profit and they're going to have to pay tax to the taxman at the end of the tax year. No wonder so many landlords are selling up. So what does all this mean? Well, more and more property coming onto the market for sale from homeowners who are selling and landlords who are retiring. This means property prices are going to continue to fall. Now, how far are property prices going to fall and how long are they going to fall? Is this going to cause a property market crash in 2023 or even a property market crash in 2024? Well, look, no one knows how long this is going to go off on. And it really does depend what happens to inflation and thus also interest rates. You know, inflation needs to come down before we see interest rates come down. In fact, if inflation sticks at 8.7%, the Bank of England committee might decide to raise interest rates one more time to try and help inflation come down. Now, look, this is really bad news for many, many people. And also that's what's going to be portrayed in the press. If you read the press and the media, this is not very good. So people having difficulty paying their mortgages and all the other living expenses, some people getting repossessed, people not being able to refinance. This is a bit of a mess right now. But it's really important to make sure that you don't get sucked into all of the negativity. You need to recognize that when you know what you're doing, times like this actually present us incredible opportunities. If you have the right mindset, and if you cut out the negativity and you get positive people around you who understand what's going on, recognize a huge opportunity, it's going to be much easier for you to make most of this. Now, one of the ways you can build your mindset and become positive is by watching videos like this, listening to podcasts, listening to audiobooks of inspirational people who managed to overcome difficult situations and still become very successful. Because if you want to be successful, it's not easy. When problems occur, most people just give up. But successful people, they find a way, they find a solution, and they keep going. They don't give up. And so it's important to get around other like-minded, successful people. One of the other things you can do is make sure you plug into your local property investor network meetings. We created these to provide the supportive environment of like-minded people who've always got something in common, which is they want to invest in property. I don't know, the idea of most people going to networking seems really kind of daunting and they just don't want to do it. This is what you need to do to get the right people around you. Now, most people who go to network meetings, they're fairly new on the property journey. They want to learn how to do it. They want to connect to other people, build their network. But also there are some pretty experienced people who go to these meetings because they value the networking. They want to keep positive. And also they understand they've got to keep in the right environment, because the more successful you get, there are less and less people who understand what you're trying to do. So we have 50 plus meetings around the UK. Most of them are physical, a few of them are virtual. And we even have a new PIN meeting in the Netherlands now. And also we have a new one starting in Dubai in July. So why not go to pinmeeting.co.uk, see where your local meeting is. If you've been before, you know how good they are. Come and book your local meeting and come and attend to make sure you're getting updates on information like this and connecting with other like-minded people. If you've never been to a PIN meeting before, I'd like to give you the opportunity to come free of charge as my guest to the first meeting so you can come and check it out for yourself and see what you've been missing out on all of this time. So if you go to the website pinmeeting.co.uk, we'll put a link below this video. Find the local meeting to you, check you can make the date, scroll down to the bottom of the page where you normally pay to attend. It's only £20, £25 to come along. But if you click where it says pay with a voucher code, put your details in, and then use the voucher code YouTube. We had to think long and hard about that, obviously. Use that word YouTube. It will bypass the payment page. As long as you've been for the first time, it will send you a confirmation in with all the details and put you on the guest list to come along to your local PIN meeting. I really encourage you to do that. Come and see for yourself what you've been missing out on, because you've got to get around like-minded people, especially when there's so much negativity out there. So I hope this video has been useful for you. If it has, please like it. I'd love to hear your view in the comments. What do you think is happening to inflation, interest rates, and the property market in general? Is it an opportunity, or is it just the end of the world as we know it, which is what some people are saying? So come and comment below. I'd love to hear what you've got to say. And also make sure you like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and hit the bell icon so you get notified whenever we bring a new video out. And also come and check out your local PIN meeting. There's a link below this video. Until next time, as ever, I encourage you to invest with knowledge, invest with skill. I do hope you got massive value from watching this YouTube video. I'd encourage you to click on the link below to come and do the online training with me. And I've got another video lined up for you, which I think is also going to be really useful that you should watch once you've registered for the online training with me. So invest with knowledge, invest with skill. I'll see you very soon.